Hi everyone, Lawrence here from ATLC. This morning I'm really delighted and proud to announce that we've got a new partner on board with Network Insurance Group, and we're joined today by Andrew Broughton, the CEO, and Chris Fowler from Network Insurance Group. Thank you guys.
Great to be here.
Great. I'll let you both talk about Network Insurance Group and then I'll ask a couple of questions around how it relates to importers, exporters and the broader supply chain community.
Yeah, Network Insurance Group would be a top 20 general insurance broker across Australia. Proud to be 100% Australian owned, and we're a joint venture partner with Steadfast Group, which is the largest listed insurance broker in Australia. We pretty much cover everything, so we do publicly listed companies, we do a lot of the companies that your affiliates would be involved in, and we've got wide experience across a number of sectors in Australia. We're across pretty much the East Coast. We've got significant presence in Melbourne, in Sydney, on the Central Coast in New South Wales and Brisbane. We're about 125 staff and we place about 150 million in premiums.
Fantastic. And one of the huge benefits for ATLC members and the broader international trade supply chain community is that anything to do with business has got inherent risk, but especially doing international business has got greater risk. Yep. The beauty about network insurance is that you can actually take on the whole portfolio of the business. So whether it's a really great fit because if you're an importer, exporter, courier company, freight forwarder, broker, whatever aspect of international trade, supply chain, logistics, I love the way that you can actually look at their whole risk portfolio, if you like, and the risk profile, and then provide a whole complete solution, which is really powerful.
Yeah, it is, Lawrence, and I guess it's important to understand with a lot of the ATLC members, there is an international component. We have some representation in Singapore, and more broadly through the Steadfast Group, we have markets into London. We deal with over 130 markets across Australia, and as well as providing, I guess, the standard insurance cover and insurance practice risk, we tend to be more broadly advisors across a number of factors and can start to parallel quite nicely with a number of your other providers. So we do tend to have clients who'll come to us and ask for more than just an insurance solution. It's an advisory solution, and that doesn't always involve just the placement of insurance products. Yeah,
it's really powerful. I mean, we work with so many importers and exporters who, when they think about insurance, they think about just marine insurance, and half of them don't even know about trade insurance and other opportunities to really protect their business, their profitability, their cash flow, and even use it and leverage it, as you say, a bit of a solution to actually leverage that for better negotiated deals with their providers.
Absolutely, and I guess every client's unique. A lot of our big clients used to be small clients, so there's very different sort of stages of the journey when it comes to clients, and for us it depends on each client's individual, and we'll tailor those approaches. We're really excited though by what you guys are doing more broadly with the association. We've seen a lot of good links on social media, and Chris has attended a forum in Sydney already. So really just excited to get involved, understand what those opportunities look like, and be an active part of providing solutions in this space.
Yeah, fantastic. Well, having Chris coming along to those events, and we're actually talking about putting on an event here in the Melbourne office, so you get a chance to meet Chris and possibly Andrew as well, but to really have a really great event and give you an overview of how specialists like Network can actually help optimise and mitigate any risk you've got across not just international trade supply chain but your overall business. So we'll have details of that coming along shortly, but it'd be great to have Chris as one of our key presenters there to talk about some case studies and some of those scenarios where we can really help improve the optimisation and risk mitigation for importers and exporters. So look, Chris, in your experience, what's sort of often overlooked by people in the international trade space?
I suppose one of the major exposures for those importers and exporters would be genuinely your marine transit insurance. More often than not, some people will just assume that a customer from overseas is bringing in a product to me, they're responsible for it until it gets to the dock or it gets to my warehouse, which isn't often the case. The marine transit isn't an expensive policy. If you think about all the shipping containers out in Port Melbourne right now or in the Docklands area, there's that many of them. It's a lot of premium, so insurers don't charge a lot for it. And really, it can be a vital part of your business that you need to insure. Yep. It's a physical part of your business too for those importers, exporters. Aside from that, it's your like most businesses, you have your public and private liability exposure. If you have a larger warehouse, you need to insure those assets in there, whether it be the physical stock, the contents. If you own the building, it can be the building as well as your consequential loss, which is your gross profit in the event there is fire or peril like water damage or whatever the case may be. They're your three basic policies that we're wanting to push onto your customers and your clients, and make sure that we're mitigating as much as that loss as possible and minimising the exposure as well.
Great. Well, I look forward to delving into that in a lot more detail at that event, because as you said, it's often overlooked, unfortunately, but it's also increasingly a big part of global supply chain contracts that you need to demonstrate that you've got this type of backup and cover in place so that you can actually be part of these big supply chain opportunities around the world.
I mean, I mentioned before, each client's individual, and there's a whole raft of differentials that can particularly apply in the space. For instance, Australia is now one of the most litigious countries in the world. So in terms of directors and officers' responsibility, in terms of shareholder actions, there is no more litigious nation on earth now than Australia, which means people need to be adequately protected. You can obviously be deemed to be an importer under the Trade Practices Act on a number of things that you might be bringing into Australia, which can create some issues, which Chris has sort of referred to. And then more specifics, so product contamination, product recalls, they're all particular and specialist covers that we work with various providers to look for solutions for clients. And then you've got your whole trade credit piece, a big piece which is more like a financial services product, but we have markets through Australia's largest trade credit provider in Australia as well to assist on those sorts of needs.
Fantastic. Look, it's really exciting to have you both on board and have Network, offering these type of expertise and solutions to the broader community and ATLC members, because it is a really important part of doing business internationally and domestically as well. But obviously, we really encourage you to come along. We'll do it here in Melbourne, and we'll roll those out across the country probably early in 2020, because it's coming up to Christmas period as well. But get along. We'll have some details shortly. But thank you so much, Andrew. Thank you so much, Chris, for not only joining us today and advising our audience about how you can help them, but also for coming on board as partners, and through that journey, you'll be able to be that go-to for companies who need that extra advice and expertise.
Looking forward to it, and we'll make sure the champagne's chilled. Hoping for a good spring crowd turnout.
Yep, fantastic. Thanks, Andrew. Thanks, Chris.
Cheers.